I have normal people hair. This is really weird, and it's gonna be even weirder when I actually edit the video. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wonky Angle, where I talk about electronic music, both new and old, and today I'm talking about the new album from Iglooghost, Neo Wax Bloom. Iglooghost is the alias for Seamus Malia? I don't know how to say that. He's a producer on Brainfeeder Records. I mainly know about this guy not only because I'd gotten a request or two to cover him, but also because Flying Lotus extensively retweets his stuff. Hank Fantano also reviewed his previous EP Chinese New Year as well, though I didn't check it out myself. I went in this album blind. I had a feeling it was going to be some weird stuff given his relation to Flylo, but I had no idea what to expect. And that's literally all the intro I have for this guy. There's not really a lot of information out there about this guy. Supposedly he's really young. He credits himself as 11 or 13 years old on Twitter and SoundCloud respectively. Might be a joke, but I mean, he looks older than that. Though I have no idea though. I kinda wish I had a more extensive intro because after listening to his debut album here, Neo Wax Bloom, I'm kinda at a loss for words on how to describe what I've been listening to. I have a pretty good idea of how I feel on this album, but verbalizing into a proper review has been pretty difficult, which is why it's taken a while for this video to show up. This thing is 41 minutes of pure musical insanity. Lots and lots of weird instrumentation and synths flying past you at super high speed, from vibraphones and xylophones and pianos and violins and saxophones to hard-hitting drum and bass influenced percussion to pitch-shifted and modulated singing and rapping. Especially a lot of the latter. It's like Visible Cloaks on crack or something, with a fair bit of Flylo in there and some One No Tricks Point Never as well, but Iglooghost style, while definitely based off of particular artists like those, does definitely stand alone and set itself apart. This stuff is a lot brighter, flashier, more lighthearted than any of the guys I mentioned. It's like something out of one of those little baby kids shows where the entire show is basically just an acid trip. But like, again, on crack. This thing is also super sonically dense. You can tell this guy spent a lot of time and effort into this. There's so many sounds flying around at once, and okay, while it's not like he never gives you a break, there are some slower moments on this thing too, but even those have so many freaking sounds flying around at high speed. As far as individual tracks go, I'll admit there's not really much for me to say as the whole thing feels structured to fit together as one piece rather than 11 separated tracks. And it all goes way too fast for me to be able to focus on one thing and have solidified thoughts on individual tracks. Admittedly, a lot of them sound kinda similar and run together, especially at the beginning. Like, maybe you got a cool moment like the layers of horns and saxophones at one point in Super Ink Burst, but I mainly just find myself mind blown at the intense tapestry of sound I'm listening to. And he makes it really fun too! Like, all the melodies on here, while not exactly catchy, are really satisfying and help keep me engaged. Near the end, you get a couple of more distinct moments, like the last 4 tracks. You got Infinite Mint with its vaguely more laid-back vibe and weird foreign accent singing of Kyushe, or the rapping of Mr. Yote on Teal Yomi / Olivine, and then Peanut Choker, which combines elements of both of those, and finally the closer God Grid, which has so much chipmunk vocals all over the freaking place, my god. Now I will also have to admit I do have my issues with this album, though to be fair it's just personal preferences stuff. From a technical standpoint, I can't think of anything wrong with Neo Wax Bloom. I mean, it's super well put together and nothing feels out of place, and I'm consistently engaged pretty much the whole time. That being said, this album is like one step away from being really annoying. As you could tell from my thoughts on the closer, I'm not huge on the chipmunk vocals here. I mean, I can take them since they're just one part of the complex layers of insanity this album provides, and usually just kind of like in the background and not the main focus. And, you know, they do help give Iglooghost some personality, and it's not like I know anyone else who does this kind of stuff. Maybe Nightcore artists, though, but just through the concept of pitch-shifted Japanese-sounding hyperspeed vocals, and Iglooghost isn't worth being compared to that kind of garbage on any deeper level than that. But the point is, because of all those vocals, this album had the potential to be really annoying, and honestly, I don't see myself coming back to it all that much, mainly because of this specifically. But that being said, that's basically my one gripe with this seriously pretty impressive debut album. Even though the chipmunk stuff isn't my thing, Iglooghost more than makes up for it with all the various melodic tones and varied instrumentation, and just the fact that this is such a dense sounding album, and that it's so hard for me to wrap my head around. I don't have to pay attention to the chipmunk vocals, there's like 50 other different things for me to pay attention to. I know there's going to be people out there watching this who are going to like this a lot more than me, as again, I don't see myself putting this on my iPod or listening on a regular basis in the future, but it was a ton of fun regardless. I think it's pretty great and a really impressive effort for a first album. I would definitely recommend checking this out. Overall feeling a solid 8 out of 10. But of course, this is just my opinion. You can feel free to disagree with it, but I'd like to hear your thoughts, so leave your comments in the comment thing down there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all for today. See you next time.